Thank you. Thank you. We'll leave it there, BKO. Okay, to our next story. You know, a people, we are told, can be deceived in two ways. One, by believing what is not true, and two, by rejecting what is true. So let's go there. The President and Commander-in-Chief, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has explained the change of guards in the security architecture of the country. New service chiefs were announced by the #1 citizen, an exercise which he says is routine and a move to strengthen and deepen professionalism. In the change, just to refresh your memory, General Olufemi Oluyede is the new Chief of Defense Staff, replacing the likable Major General Christopher Musa. The Chief of Army Staff is Major General W. Shuaibu. AVM SK Aneke is the new Chief of Air Staff, while the Chief of Naval Staff is Rear Admiral I. Abbas. Now, the military Chief of the Chief of Defense Intelligence, Major General EAP Undiendeye, I hope I got that right, has retained his post. Now, things have to change, Dotun. Things have got to change. So you wonder why some people wanted to make a meal of this change of guards, yes, whereas President Tinubu is also the commander-in-chief.
Well, it's been established over the years that people believe less in government.
Okay. In this part of the world?
Everywhere. It's not just in Nigeria.
Okay.
Unfortunately, so it is more so in Africa and then in Nigeria. When you look at the barometer that was released, that is released yearly, you see that the belief in the government keeps falling. And that is why it is important that government must have credibility.
Establish that.
You must have credibility, meaning that if you say so, let it be so. If we have been told, because you don't build trust overnight, you build it over a period of time.
Yeah. You earn it.
We've had situations in which the government has told us this thing is not so. And then the following day, they come back to say, yes, it is so. But no, that should not be. There shouldn't be a but. When you say something is not so, let it remain so. Mm-hmm. If it is so, admit from day one
that
it is so.
It doesn't take anything.
It doesn't, because people will still get to know in the end. And that is why, see, I've been somebody who has been clamoring for long. Let us have established means of getting factual information from government, so that when the government earns the trust of the people, then when the government says this, people say, yeah, it's so, because the ones they've been telling us in the last 10 years has been consistently true. We've had it in the past where the military says to us, nothing like this happened. Mm. And then the following day, they come back to admit
it was so.
That it is so, but not as reported. That shouldn't be so. If we record losses, for instance, fighting Boko Haram,
we say so.
Let's say so. Mm. And you earn the pity of the people who come to say, oh, sorry.
And by extension, trust.
And then they now trust you that when it is so, you tell us. And when it is not so, you tell us. We've had it in the past. For instance, look at the misfiring that happened sometime in one of the northern states. For days, the military was denying it. And then it came back and said it already had some people in for interrogation. Now, that community is being rebuilt by the same military. That shouldn't be so. Errors occur. Mm. We should have it so. And that is where that is the challenge this government is confronting now. And it must build on this reputation of saying the truth from the onset of any development. And that is what we want from the government. So when you say there isn't a coup, some of us can rationalize it because we've been around enough to know the indices, the signs, when they are coups.
Yeah.
You look at those who have even been arrested for these things. A brigadier general, where is he? What does he do?
Yeah.
How much of troops does he command? Does he have the foot soldiers? Who are those arrested? You know, we ask all of those questions and you're able to come to a conclusion. But we need to believe our government.
Yeah. Dr. Before I go to BK, let me quickly say that for a country that has recorded 5 successful coups, whatever that means, and 4 unsuccessful ones, the news or rumor of another coup should be revolting.
Yes, it is. That's why people
be revolting to anybody.
That's why people are saying, is this so? Because Nigerians must know, who are these people planning to truncate democracy?
Yeah.
Because even the military itself has accepted that the worst form of democracy is better than the best form of military rule. We should.
All right, BKO, so you are there soaking everything in. So how do you weigh in here? A political party wanted to make a meal of this change of guards in the military. But now I think they know better.
Well, if they don't know better, that is their problem. The president, what people must realize is that this president is different from the man he succeeded. Ordinarily, service chiefs should not spend more than 2 years in office.
Yeah.
It is not. It's not a political position.
That's it.
Yes, they are appointed by a politician, but it's not a political position. Service chiefs at the initial stage, 2 years. The president reserves the right to extend beyond years. Service chiefs are not supposed to spend 4 years in office. It makes no sense. It destroys morale in the army when you keep service chief for as long as President Buhari kept them. A chief of army staff or a chief of naval staff has no business presiding over the promotion exercise of 5 sets in the armed forces. The joy of every set that passed through NDA is for one of their own to become the chief of army staff.
Okay.
Oh, I'm course 40. Course 40 will produce a chief of army staff. Oh, I'm course 40 will produce chief of naval staff. It's not for us to have like 5 whole years.
Okay.
Without any of those. Yes, that was what happened the last time. Morale was low, and it began to affect our response to the soldiers' response to the war against terror. When diminishing return massively set in, the then president then decided that, okay, this time around, I'm going to bring change. And then he brought in new service chiefs. So it should ordinarily not provoke the kind of lousy comments that people are making just because the president changed service chiefs. It's a normal thing, and they shouldn't last more than 2 years. By tradition, they shouldn't stay for as long as some Nigerians are expecting. No, they are not politicians. There will always be a need to overhaul the operational security structure. And if you want change, then you have to bring in fresh ideas, bring in other people.
Fresh faces, yeah.
I know, for example, that the Arewa, the Northern Elders Forum, had demanded for the sack of these service chiefs a long time ago. Because after a while, diminishing returns sets in. So let other people come with fresh ideas. Let's see what they can do.
Okay.
And the president did this very well because he ensured that geopolitical zones and religion was borne in mind in making these appointments. So we now have a chief of army staff from the North Central, a chief of naval staff from the Northwest, a chief of air staff from the Southeast, chief of defense intelligence from the South-South, and then chief of defense staff from the Southwest. You know? So, and we still have 2 ministers of defense from the Northwest. And we still have the NSA from the Northeast. So he got it right in terms of the balancing that he wanted to achieve. And when people say, finally he put the chief of defense staff, he put his person. Anybody who understands the military knows that the power base of the armed forces is the army. The power base of the armed forces. But the president has put someone, an Igala man from Olamaboro in Kogi State, he has put him there. He didn't put his brother. So some of the arguments, and if people are saying, there was a coup, there was this, and they said there is no coup. Where is your own evidence that there is a coup? You must be ready to provide that evidence. If we insist that they are lying. You must be able to provide. Did you see troop movement trying to hijack the Aso Rock or somewhere? What is your own evidence? As a journalist, I do not push arguments that I cannot
defend,
factually sustain.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. That's how you put yourself in trouble. So this is the thing. We should be talking about what these service chiefs need to do. We should be thanking the service chiefs for the efforts that they made. The chief of naval staff, for example, was a fantastic service chief. He did so well. Ogala is one of the best chief of naval staff that I've known. He did very well. They did well in their own, because somebody who reduced oil theft by 70%, he deserves to be canonized.
Okay.
But the problem still remains. So we can argue that, okay, the new ones, how do they build on the momentum? How do they improve upon what their predecessors have done? That should be our argument. Not the arguments that are neither here nor there. It was in response to. When did replacement of service chiefs become dependent on whether there was news of a coup or not? Even if there was news of a coup, do you punish service chiefs for that, or the people that were involved in it? Is it the service chiefs you then punish? You then punish them
by removing them?
Were they the ones who organized it?
Okay.
Were they the ones who organized it? At what point did you determine that the service chiefs were not loyal? Who told you that they were not loyal? Because it is when they are not loyal that the president can say, okay, we are removing them because of the story of a coup. This last set of service chiefs, no one can say they were not loyal. Nobody can sustain that kind of argument.
Thank you, BK.
So do you punish people who are loyal for something that they did not do? I don't understand.
Okay.
I don't understand. I've been following the military for years. I've never heard that service chiefs get removed when they hear that there is a plan for a coup or there is a rumor of a coup somewhere. No, I've never heard it. Those are not the reasons that you give. When there was a time that Buratai even said that some people were planning to topple the military. To topple the civilian regime. Yeah. And he warned them. The then president did not proceed to go and remove Buratai and others.
Okay.
Come on.
Yeah, say something else. You know, thank you, BKO. Quickly, very quickly.